Using directions and mapping is really easy on the new Inspector app. So the first thing that most inspectors will do when they pull up their iPad to get ready to go to the job site is get directions if they don't have directions already. To do that, select the job that you want to go to. So I'm just going to touch on my job list for my floor heating inspection. And when I do that, I can see that the address on the right-hand side is listed as 74164 McClintock Road in Echo, Oregon. If I want directions to it, all I have to do from the Inspector app is to the right of the address. I've got these little drop pin locations, which is a link. When I touch it, it's going to give me possible suggestions or directions from my location in Pendleton all the way to McClintock Road. So I've got two options here. What it has done, it's minimized the Inspector app and opened the default Apple Maps from the iPad. If I double tap my home screen button on the iPad, you'll see I'll get an icon list of all of the apps that I have open. So I can just touch Inspector app and go right back to it, or double tap my home screen button on the iPad and go back into directions. Here I can select one of these routes, and then once I press go, it's going to start giving me directions. I'm going to go ahead and close that and get back into our Inspector app. So what I would do is follow the directions. Once it was ended, it'll give me voice commands. I'll arrive at my location, and then I can do the same thing from my current location to the next location. The next thing that we're going to look at here is if I go over on the left-hand side, now I've got all of my scheduled inspections here. I'm going to touch on the map, and now what I can do is I can maximize this map, and we're going to talk about the map here and look at our view. So I've got my 3 inspections on the map, and you'll notice here in the top left-hand side in blue, it says I'm looking at the standard map. I can also touch hybrid, which will now give me a hybrid view. It'll include satellite and street view technology, so I can get street names and be able to actually get a better view of what I'm looking at for trees and buildings. Or I can use a straight satellite map without street names by touching satellite. So those are some of the options you have on the map. And from the map, you're still able to access all of your menu options and allow us to go back and look at all the details. So that's the mapping and directions from the new Inspector app.